This is an example of what we call an arithmetic expression. It's numbers and operations that are to be performed on those numbers. Here we have an addition indicator, a multiplication indicator, a raising to the second power indicator, an addition indicator. And we have a set of grouping symbols, the parentheses. What we do with these arithmetic expressions is what is called evaluating the expression. We want to know, if we perform these operations, what would be the answer? What would be the value of that combination of numbers and operations? What would be the value of that arithmetic expression? Now, in order to evaluate that arithmetic expression, we have to follow a certain order of operations that mathematicians have chosen to be the correct order in which to perform operations in an arithmetic expression. Because if we perform the operations in a different order than what mathematicians have decided upon, the value that that expression would have might be different. So what mathematicians have done over the years is they have settled on a correct order that we should follow. And what they have decided upon is that if you have a set of parentheses that contains an operation, you should perform that operation that's inside the parentheses first. So our order of operations, our priority of operations, starts with operations that are inside parentheses. And we do have an operation inside that set of parentheses, don't we? We have an addition. So that's really the first operation that we should perform. 2 plus 3 will give us 5, so now it's 5 that would be raised to the second power. The operation inside parentheses had precedence over the addition that was here, the multiplication that was here, the raising to a power that was there. The next operation in our order of operations is raising to a power, or it is also sometimes called exponentiation. Exponentiation is also raising to a power. That's the fancy term for raising to a power is exponentiation. So that would be my next step, would be to take 5 and raise it to the second power. Now, remember what that means. That doesn't mean 5 times 2. Let's just look at that by way of review. 5 to the second power says, write the 5 down 2 times and multiply them. Write the 5 down 2 times. This number is called the base. This smaller number up here is called the exponent. The exponent tells us how many times to write down the base, and it's always multiplication. So exponents are just a way of writing shorthand repeated multiplications of the same number. So 5 to the second power says write the 5 down twice and multiply. 5 times 5 would give us 25. 5 to the second power is 25. Now the next operations in our order of operations are multiplication and division. And we work them from left to right. So we start at the left side of the expression and we move to the left until we run into any multiplications or divisions, and we do those next. Well, when we do that, the first thing we see is an addition and then a multiplication. So the multiplication has precedence over addition. So this becomes 12 plus 4 times 25, which is 100. And the last operations we perform are any additions or subtractions, and we also work them from left to right. So the last operation here we have is an addition, 12 plus 100 is 112. 112 is the value of this arithmetic expression. And the process we just went through is what's called evaluating that arithmetic expression. And that is something that you use various times throughout your mathematical work. It's an important procedure to be able to follow. And to follow it correctly using this order of operations, parentheses, exponentiation, multiplications, divisions, worked left to right, additions and subtractions worked left to right. Over the years, people have developed little mnemonic devices, little memory devices to help us remember this order of operations. One that you may have heard of before is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That seems to be a popular one. Or also PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S. Whichever of those makes sense to you might be helpful for you to remember the correct order of operations when evaluating an arithmetic expression.